What is up YouTube, and welcome to this Hereditary video. So I finally got to watch this movie, which funny enough the only place to watch it in lockdown was actually on Amazon Prime, which is very annoying, but we'll be discussing the weirdest things you missed in the movie and other tiny little details. So as always, if you're new to the channel, please do consider subscribing as well with notifications on if you enjoy the video, and please do drop a like if you enjoyed this hella creepy movie, because it was very creepy. The movie is by Aster, who helmed the superb and actually even creepier Midsommar, so go and check that out. It was an amazing movie there. So the movie follows a family who recently suffered a bereavement of a grandmother and spirals out of control heavily there. This is where it really goes downhill for the family. Some moments in this movie genuinely actually shocked me and shook me to my absolute core. There will be spoilers for the movie, so let's just jump in, shall we? The movie is basically about a cult trying to appease and summon the demon Paimon. Sorry if I've actually pronounced that incorrectly there. The demon is a high-ranking member of hell, so he really isn't someone to be messed with. And the movie is quite ambiguous as to whether what was going on in this movie was planned, and if the summoning went through, and what they actually meant to do with Peter there at the end of the movie. But Ari Aster said that Charlie was always the demon, which plays into the name of the movie Hereditary, as it seems to actually run in the family, but more on that later. The demon takes over and always occupies the youngest member of the family. So she was killed but had to be revived to fulfill her destiny there, and unfortunately they did actually succeed. So the hidden cult were a big part of the movie. We saw Joan early on in the movie, but the creepy dude looking at Charlie at the funeral, yes, that's one of the earlier indicators that things are not right. Well, he actually ended up in the final act there, all completely starkers in the house with the rest of the cult members. With the occult, symbolism is heavy, and this movie is certainly no exception, with the symbol of the demon being on the grandmother's necklace. And despite hating her, Annie also wears the same necklace, giving an indicator that the curse is carrying on. The symbol is indeed Paimon's symbol from the Lesser Key of Solomon, a grimoire on demons. It's basically a wiki on naughty little scamps. The symbol foreshadows the gruesome fate of Charlie's original body on the drive to the party, which blew my mind that a child was allowed to go to a party where people would be drinking and doing drugs. The pole where she actually lost her head, and this was one of the shocking parts of the movie, which made me feel sick and made me wish I had actually filmed my reaction. Yes, on that pole is the symbol of the demon scratched within it. So while it seemed a setback, this was all heavily planned there, presumably to terror Annie into the arms of Joan. They tried a flyer through the letterbox, but that did not actually work. The twist about Joan was superbly interesting, but it all came crashing down when we noticed that in the box on her wall was the symbol again. I felt very much like that Hollywood Leo meme where he's just pointing at the screen. That's a top meme. But the symbol also appears on the grandmother's book near the end of the film, and the slow bleed of all these clues was expertly done. This book shows spells and incantations on how to actually summon the demon. Inside the books we get some important notes that Paimon also locks into the host, who is the weakest, and the cult's plan worked. Peter is tormented throughout the entire film, and the plan to kill him worked because it made him question everything, and he was very scared there. The book also states that women are not a good fit to be taken over by this demon, for he is a male, and therefore a female should not be chosen because it becomes even more volatile. So mixing Charlie and Peter into one body is a potent mix, and it highlights here the true plan and the true reveal that Charlie was always Paimon there as well. So Anne also was supposed to be a boy. She mentions at the funeral that the rift with her mother was big. She mentions her own father died of starvation, and he left a note saying the grandmother wanted to put people inside him. It seems he killed himself before he could have Peter's fate. So they were completely set back here, but the minute that we had Charlie being looked over by the mother, this was the second chance she had here, and well, she seemed to actually make sure that Charlie became the demon there so she could then put her in the body of Peter, because it seems having her inside the body of Charlie did not go too well and that it wouldn't work there from the reveals that we had bleeding throughout the entire movie. When Joan is screaming at Peter at school, the conjuring spell took place the night before. She screams Satany, Degony and Paragon, which is used to send a conjured spirit back to the realm from whence they came. Moving back to the symbolism, triangles are heavily used in the movie and can be easily missed. We see in the bedroom and around the picture of Peter in Joan's home, triangles were used by King Solomon to summon demons. Think of the iconic satanic pentagram there. These are throughout the entire house and in key moments like that when Peter's eyes are crossed out, which means he has a curse put on him there. The models in the movie also play a major role in showing the backstory of the grandmother actually spying on the family while they slept, which is intensely terrifying and links into what was mentioned at the funeral about how she slowly started going mad and she was sinking her hooks into Charlie. So that's given us the backstory there of everything that happened. The ending of the movie is terrifying and incredibly mysterious. As Arias revealed, it was actually the cultists who moved the body there into the loft, and then it was used later on in the movie, and that treehouse looks very, very, very unsafe there. This scene was foreshadowed in Joan's plays as we see creatures are shown bowing to a higher figure, and it seems like the making of models is a big part of the cult and the hereditary here, so maybe the model hobby was taken up and was planned there once again. All of this was done so Paimon / Charlie could be allowed to enter Peter's body, and in the ending we see the anointment, so to speak. It zooms out to reveal a diorama like all the other ones we had throughout the entire movie. That's some pretty interesting stuff there as well, and it's obviously done on purpose there to kind of mess with us and make us wonder, is this actually real? The end of the movie, we see the clicking, we hear the clicking, and it is indicated there that Paimon is indeed inside Peter's body, and he is the demon once more. The movie was really good. I absolutely loved it, and there are some very, very creepy moments here throughout the entirety of the movie. Also, there are a few other things in the movie where we actually see people throughout the movie. So early on, we actually see the grandmother in the corner of the room. We also see Anne in the ceiling as well. We also see Peter smoking his bong in the movie, and he looks outside, and we actually see a breath there in the wind, which shows he has been watched throughout the entirety of the movie. Now, a little thing as well, we see a black herb that appears in the tea when Annie goes to Joan's apartment. And interestingly, we also see this fed to Annie when she was a young child, which indicates that this is a form of control as well. So this was probably how it was done to control Charlie in the movie as well. That is it for this video. Please drop a like if you enjoyed the video and subscribe with notifications on, and let me know what kind of content you want for this channel as well. I'll see you soon, and goodbye.